start the meeting. Going to call it to order, and the roll call is myself, Lynn Kelly, present, and Doug Mayo, and Virginia DeSorger, Laura Jordan, Lindsay Rowe, Robin Fordham, our administrative program assistant, and it looks like we have a guest, Mr. Bob Williford. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. And I just had two quick questions about that. Robin, probably directed to Robin. There were a couple of things highlighted.
Right.
When I looked at it. Are those things that you needed me to provide? It says.
I think this one. It's just the one. It's just the one thing, right? The.
Well, there were two links.
Oh, right. Where are those? I'm not seeing them.
There was one under the Statewide Commission on Disability, the YouTube link.
Yep. I think I just wanted to know if we wanted to add those. I was looking for a little direction, maybe from Lindsay, who knows everything. Do we need to put those links in there, Lindsay, or can we just? Oh, you're muted.
I would. I think it's clear.
Okay.
The additional links as Lynn provides, or you on the committee.
Okay. And then the other section. Oh, okay. And then the other section was for 2 minutes we lost quorum when somebody's computer connection went out, and I made a note of it in the minutes. So Lindsay's suggestions on. I don't think anything happened in those 2 minutes, and they're noted in the minutes.
I think that's exactly how it's supposed to go. I don't know if you want to note whose connection.
Oh, okay. I don't know who it was. So it just says quorum lost at 1:35 p.m. resumed 1:37.
Okay. So the only problem with the providing you those links is I went to do that and then somehow erased or lost or deleted essentially they were from MOD, but I will contact Jeff Dugan and I can get that. So
okay.
Can we?
I think as long as everybody votes to approve them with the insertions, to be provided, or.
Yep. Can't hear you, Doug. You need to unmute.
There you go. Now you're unmuted, Doug.
Okay. I'll make that motion to add it to the minutes.
And to accept the minutes as amended. Okay.
That's correct.
Yep.
You have a second?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Laura, second.
Okay.
All right. Take Laura.
They're approved as amended. Okay. The next.
Do we do a? I'm sorry. Do we do a roll call vote, Lindsay?
Technically, for a virtual meeting, yeah.
I thought I did that.
Oh, you did a roll call introduction, but for remote meetings, when you have a vote, you're supposed to roll call vote. So you just indicate yourself and your answer, and then roll call everyone else. Sorry, I'm being very specific.
Thank you. Okay. So Lynn Kelly, chair, accept.
Disorder.
Laura?
accept.
Doug Mayo here.
Yeah. But yes, Doug.
Laura Jordan, accept.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is the treasurer's report, and I just wanted to let you know that I got the most updated one as of today, and the account for the CDA is $300, and the handicap parking fund is now $3,021.05. And just a quick thought on both of these figures. I wanted people to think about putting on their thinking cap of people or an institution who might need the use of the handicap parking fund. I know in the past I looked into building for ramps, but ramps generally run about close to $7,000, $5,000 to $7,000. So we don't have that much. But just wanted to have people think about using that money, or anybody who could use that money that they know of in the disability community.
Lynn?
Ginny? Yep.
Well, I actually happen to know of someone who just had to do that I think it was a little costly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there are other people, so that just happens to be the person I know. And, you know, I don't know that that's the right way to do it just because it's the person that I know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And I
Because
guess
I think
I was.
you may know who that individual was too.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that there are hundreds of people in the community that I'm sure could use that. So I'm hesitating to say, even bring that one forward because I don't know what the best way to do that is. But maybe we should all put in if there's anything that we know, or maybe somebody else have an idea on that.
Put them all
Could you
in.
do like I'm sorry.
Oh, Laura, why don't you go and then Doug.
Could you do an announcement for like a call for proposals or grants to offer a quantity, small grant to people in need and publicize it?
I believe that we can. What I will do is follow up with Jeff Dugan at the Mass Office on Disability, just to be very clear about the guidelines. But I think that's a good idea. I mean, we could even put something in the newspaper. I have no doubt that the recorder would, be willing to let us put an announcement in. I just wanted to have people give it a thought. Since I know there's so much need out there right now. Lindsay, did you want to go?
One thought I had is the buttons for handicap accessibility for businesses tend to run around $3,000 a door, and that would have a wide range of impact in the community. Clearly, it would be one door, but I know that that's definitely a rough estimate of what it would cost to install one of those buttons, just as an option of things to think about.
That's a great suggestion. I will double check with Jeff about that because it might be that a quote business might not be eligible for that, but I'm sure a case could be made. So yes, that's,
Well, and I think there are some area who also need improved access.
I'm sorry, I didn't, that last word was garbled. Did you say apartment access or
I was thinking nonprofits who
nonprofit?
may need
Mhm.
help, which would not be a big.
Right. Okay. And I'm sorry, Doug, I skipped over you. Did you want to?
Well, the ideas that were spoken just before me sound very valid and were in line with what I was thinking. Is they're compliant with MOD. I don't see a problem like doing something with the recorder and just putting something on our website, working hand in hand, just getting the information out there as quickly as possible, so that members of the community can take access, make use of it. So I think all the ideas are good, and I think we should move on them ASAP.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, we'll just talk a little further about how to organize that. And the other thing I wanted to say about our account, our CDA account, is it looks to me like it was not all used at the end of the fiscal year. And I know that we have costs for things. So I just wanted to keep that in mind. I understand that we can't use it for office supplies. Is that correct, Ginny?
Muting. So that should be you turn it back and then we can. I'm surprised we haven't been asked to do that already, because it should be certified for free cash. Any department that doesn't use it, it should be put back in, and she's working on certifying the free cash now. Ed, Councilor Mayo, any input on that?
It sounds very feasible. To that sounds right to me. I mean, what is this? How much of it how much do we have? I don't think I remember hearing how much we have.
$300.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. It makes sense to go. Yeah.
I know that we did, was it last year or the year before, use it to pay for people to go to training sessions. And I want to remind people that that's there for that. Not that we'll be going any place soon, but that's another expenditure that it can be used on. Okay. All right. Well, just I took over the following up on the treasurer's work from Margot. And if someone else would like to take on being treasurer, that would be good. Ginny, did you?
I'm happy to pick that part up, because if you want, because I'm on Ways and Means and I'm the treasurer there, if you want me to, because I was just thinking to myself, I should find out from Liz if we should be turning that back.
Yeah.
So but maybe somebody else wants to have that job instead. I don't.
I don't think so. I think it would be appropriate if you wanted to do it. There's really nothing too much to do, you know, to just get the report. That takes, you know, less than a minute. But just going over it, and what we're going to do with the funds. So if you're up for that, that would be great.
I just want to ask, did anybody else want to do that
I think
first?
we should do it. I think we should do a vote just to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That would be another roll call vote.
Okay.
I think you need a motion, right?
Okay. Can I make the motion?
Lindsay? Lindsay's my public meeting tutor.
Okay. Then I make a motion to have Ginny take on the treasury duties,
I second it.
the treasury report.
I second it.
And
Then we need to do a roll call. Is that what you're?
yeah, so Lynn, what you want to do is you say your name, your vote, and then roll call the rest, and they'll answer so people aren't jumping on, so that, yeah, it progresses that way. That'll make it easier.
Okay. So Lynn Kelly and I make a motion for Ginny to
So we
take.
got that, yeah.
Okay.
We got the motion, and so you're just giving your vote now. Lynn?
Okay. I approve. Lynn Kelly, I approve.
And then you want to roll call everybody, so call Doug next.
Okay. And next is Doug.
I approve.
Keep
And-
going.
And I'm just looking at members to vote.
Yeah.
Laura
I approve.
and Ginny, do you accept?
I accept. Yes.
Okay.
All right, motion approved.
Okay. Okay, so we'll.
And then
move on.
we also need a vote to approve the treasurer's report. Same thing. Somebody's got a motion, then you'll have a roll call vote.
Okay.
I move to approve the treasurer's report. Disorder.
I second it. Mayo.
I approve. Lynn Kelly.
I approve. Laura Jordan.
Okay.
I approve disorder.
Okay. Then
I approve Mayo.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
mhm. Okay. The next issue is just quickly the status of invitation to the department heads. And I'm going to let Lindsay speak about that since you sent me the email today.
Sure. So I sent a couple of invitations to department heads based on your questions. I just went in order of the way we got it. So the first invitation was to the mayor's office, Danny and Keith, regarding communications. November. And then to Hope McCary over at the Senior Center, she is available for December. And then I wasn't sure if you all were going to meet in January, February, and March now that we can do this remotely. I know that meeting in person had been problematic, and so you guys frequently paused during that period. But I didn't really want to start putting out invitations for April, May, and June just yet. So that's where we are.
Okay. So that brings up the issue of whether people want to continue to meet through the winter. We typically don't meet December, January, or February. So my first question is to Robin, if the commission decided to continue to meet via WebEx, is that an option?
Yes, right now, let me just double check, but I believe I scheduled it just as a recurring event in WebEx. Not sure I can check right now, actually, computer-wise, but it should be fine. So you guys can go on and discuss while I check that. How about that?
Sure. I'm just going to put out my suggestion. I think December's not going to work for me. But I would be open to January, February, as long as we're doing it by Zoom. I don't know what other people's feelings are, so. Doug, did you have an idea?
Yeah, I do have a thought. I think your idea of skipping December is a good one because of all the holidays that are happening and people coming and going. Maybe not so much, with the COVID in the area, but it's still the family events. It's still going to be lots of things to do around the holidays. So I am for January and February. I'm not so much for December.
Okay. Virginia?
I'm just confirming that, I'm sorry to interrupt, confirming that the WebEx platform is scheduled recurring indefinitely right now, so those dates are all open.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Robin. Virginia?
I agree.
Okay. How about Laura?
I'm available whenever the group wants to meet.
Okay. All right. Okay, then
I believe that to make quorum, you're going to need 4 of you. And this would be a good moment for me to interject that when I send out the meeting announcements, if I usually send them out, well, Lynn gets me the agenda on a Friday prior to the Thursday meeting. And that's a good time for me to send out the agenda and the minutes and then ask for an RSVP so that we can confirm quorum. So if people would just watch for that email, make sure that they get back to me as soon as they can so that we know if we have enough people, depending on what comes up in people's lives.
Virginia?
So you believe we have 4 people that are here now, currently, and we need 4 people for a quorum? Because I think, I don't mean to change the order of this, but this was going to come up somehow during the meeting anyways.
Right.
Margot had written something, and I don't know exactly what it was, but was she saying temporarily she was unable to do this or something to that regard? Or
I can share that. I was going to share it with the group anyway. It's probably likely that she will need to leave the group. She has said it was okay to share that she's having great difficulty with her health. And she was kind of managing both the treasury report and the library progress. But she's just not going to be able to continue. So I don't know if she needs to give an official termination, and then once she does that, it changes the number of the quorum that we need. And the other thing that Robin, you said you were going to check on, and is that it looks like Cynthia, her term was up, and I don't know if she's renewed. I have not been able to reach her by call, by phone, or computer, so I really don't know. Were you going to check on that, Robin?
I did. I called the mayor's office and I spoke to Keith, and he referred me to Bill, and Bill was out, so I sent him an email requesting an update on Cynthia's status. And in terms of the quorum question, my understanding from my public meeting tutor, Lindsay, is that when quorum is the majority of the number of, or I guess it's 51%, the number of positions. So even if you only have 4 out of 7 positions filled, you would still need 4 members to attend a meeting to achieve quorum.
Oh, okay.
And Lindsay can give the thumbs up if I'm right. So that's
understanding, unless the bylaws say something different. And I don't know. I haven't read the bylaws for the CDA.
I've looked this up because we've had a problem with quorum, and pardon me for not raising my hand.
That's fine.
But just to move it along, it is the majority of the number of people that are appointed to the board. If we have 5 people that are appointed, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 6, right? Right. Currently we have 6, but we think that actually we may have 5. If Cynthia was not reappointed, then there's 5 members.
Correct.
Then a quorum would be 3.
Okay.
According to what I've read, and we've had that on planning board. We always had 5 members, and your quorum was 3 people. And I think if one person hasn't been reappointed, they are not considered a member. So for right now, for the purposes of a meeting for next meeting, where we know currently that we have 5 members that are appointed, I would think that a quorum would be 3. I'm muting myself again.
Okay. That sounds like that you have that information. Doug, did you want to speak?
No, I'm busy picking up stuff that's falling off the floor.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know if you were.
It's all right. I'm still alive.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Okay.
Follow up. I think this is an important topic because we do have people with disabilities. This is the Commission on Disability Access. So we have people who have health issues. And I think it's something that sometimes we didn't have enough people to constitute a quorum. So that's why I think it's an important topic. And it was why I was hoping that we'd find out about Lindsay. But what we really do know right now is that someone else was not reappointed. That person may be having health issues also, but I don't think we can count her amongst the 5 if her name isn't on there with a date at the end. So for the purposes of November, we definitely have 5 members. That's all. And I'll really try to be quiet. Thank God there's a mute button. It's too bad you all can't press it.
It's fine. Thank you. No, it's fine. We need your input.
Well, I'm looking at the Massachusetts guide, and it says, of course, a quorum is usually a simple majority of the members of a public body. So if members means those that are current members, then Ginny would be correct. If it means the number of member positions, then I don't know. But we can come to a more definitive answer, I think. I can try to find out what the definitive answer is. And I guess maybe Lindsay was suggesting that the committee could have bylaws that would allow for a different rule if that's the case, which might be something that would want to be adopted. I don't know. Lindsay, do you want to weigh in on that briefly?
Lindsay? Oh.
Now am I unmuted?
Now you're unmuted.
I think I pressed the unmute button about 8 times. Yeah, I know that there is the ability to adopt bylaws. Kathy in the clerk's office is probably going to be the best. No, Ginny's shaking her head. All right. Well, anyways, I'll step out of this.
Ginny?
I'm unmuting again. Kathy is a wonderful source of information. I didn't mean it like that. What I meant was her hair's on fire trying to get all the ballots out. So I'm muting again. It's so hard not to talk.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Laura.
Laura?
Yep.
Do we, the Commission for Disability Access, do we have a copy of our own bylaws somewhere?
That's a good question, and I don't know the answer to that, so I'm going to look for that.
That would be probably the first place to start, I would think, in terms that, because bylaws would have to have an item that addresses what is a quorum.
Mm-hmm. So why don't I plan on finding out about the bylaws? I will find those. And we will clarify that. But as of the next meeting for November, we will plan to consider 3 a quorum unless the bylaws say something different. Is that okay with everybody? Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. But yes, I will find those. Okay. Just give me one moment here. I was just double checking with Lindsay about any further information on the municipal ADA grant. If MJ got it in.
We had, can I mute? No. All right.
No,
we had further conversation about the ability of staff to be able to support that grant. And at this point, with the addition of some of the COVID money, there weren't staff really to support that grant right now.
Okay.
We tried to look at some options, and by the time we hit the point of being able to decide, it didn't seem like there was enough staff support to really be able to pursue that this year.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, and I honestly, from the information that I got from the Mass Office on Disability is, there are so many requests to use the grant that once you have gotten something from them, they're trying to be as fair as possible to move things around. Okay, just good to know the status. All right, the next thing is the Elm Terrace Bus Stop. And Ginny, you had mentioned that the mayor was that we were waiting for the mayor. And has any further decision been made about that?
Not that I'm aware of, and I don't think that I don't recall that I said I was going to follow up with the mayor on that. Did I?
No, you
I
just
think
said
the mayor has been. I don't know. I do not know the status of that.
okay.
And
I'm sorry, I just wanted to pop in. I was just looking at the minutes. Just said that the issue may need further assistance. At the last meeting, it said may need further assistance from the Disability Law Center, waiting for feedback from mayor.
Right. So that was my next suggestion. Should we contact the mayor, or should we just move ahead with with contacting the Disability Law Center? And I guess I'm focusing this towards Laura. I don't know if she has had any further contact with people.
Yeah, actually, I would like to weigh in on this. Right now, my constituents at Elm Terrace have no interest in pursuing the bus stop issue because of COVID. So although we could, I would, if we saw, if there were sufficient motivation from this group, I would be willing to talk to the mayor's office or do whatever needs to be done. The present time investment from the residents is really minimal because of COVID. So I really don't know where to go with this. I'm kind of inclined to table this for the time being until some sort of normal bus use starts to become an issue again, or realistic again. I don't know what would be the best way to pursue this from here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just going to give you my thought is I understand that with COVID that things have changed. However, I'm optimistic that at some time down the road, a year or two from now, life might be normal again. And knowing the past history of the past year of just trying to implement something like this, it really takes a lot of time. So I wondered if it might be worth it to, table it for some period of time, but then also start working with the Disability Law Center, just because it can take months and months for these kinds of changes to occur. And
Okay.
that's just my thought. And if you would be willing to just check with the mayor's office and just kind of see if any decision was made, that would help us decide if we wanted to move next to the Disability Law Center. So that's my thought.
I will be glad to follow up on that.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is the building accessibility and especially the library. I don't know if Bob is willing to give us a little update. He had sent me an email saying that there had been a change, that it looked like there may have been a change in the level of the parking lot, which would allow the library to have an access ramp. Is that correct? Bob, are you available? No, I don't hear him.
Sorry, I was taking off headphones.
Okay, thanks.
Pretty much I summarized it in the email that I sent you, Lynn.
Yeah.
I dropped into the meeting late and then had to go back and watch it on the P3 site. And anybody can go do that on the P3 site because they do archive the meetings that they have. But they did seem to indicate that they were moving the north exit from the parking lot, which goes back into some no man's land. It's a very sad arrangement back there. The signage is all wrong. The apartment building has its own driveway with a sign that says, "Do not enter," residents only. So they're moving the driveway to that slightly higher area of that area behind the library. So I think that means that they can raise up the parking for the library a bit. Without doing that, there was about a 10-foot difference between the library parking surface and the library building itself. So it's a foot for every inch. So that's 120 feet of ramp. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do 120 feet of ramp, even if it had some flat areas to rest. So I think it's going to be better. And their drawing of the patio that's behind the library was showing an actual handicapped access ramp, at least to get off of the patio, where before it was stairs and you'd have to wait to be rescued once you went out on the patio. So that's progress. They didn't really talk about that very much, but it is in the drawing. I think they indicated that they did not have too many details yet, that they were still working on it. And I'm sure that Ellen Boyer and other people at the library really don't want that to be an entrance to the library. So maybe it's still an emergency exit, but at least it's an exit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I've got.
Okay. Thank you for keeping it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will plan to be more involved since Margot's going to be stepping back from the library. Don't know if there is an interest in someone else as well, Doug or Laura. You're welcome to certainly be part of it. As I mentioned, I think at the last meeting, I have some hard copies of blueprints if you ever want those. I just had one quick question. Bob, you mentioned the P3. I wasn't familiar with that. What is that? It's a website for archives?
P3 is there are words that go with it, but it's the architectural firm, I think, that's designing the new library.
Oh, okay.
So in the calendar, the town's calendar, the link that takes you to the meeting for the library building committee actually takes you to the Facebook site of P3 where they archive the meetings. It's kind of an odd way to do it, but you may have heard that they had one of their building committee meetings interrupted by basically by a flasher. So they're trying to suspend public comment, which they're permitted to do. There's nothing that says an open meeting has to have open comment, but it is a Facebook site that is doing the live feed from, I don't know if it was Zoom or WebEx or what.
Okay, thank you. Jenny, did you want to say something? Jenny, you're muted.
So first, Bob, I'd like to say thank you for going to all of those and watching carefully what was happening. I actually was logged into that famous meeting, and now try and have seen it on. I couldn't get into the Facebook one as it was happening, but I don't feel like I have the time to devote to that. But I think it really merits watching. I was concerned from the get-go of that as a member of planning board because of the elevation, the degree of elevation in the parking lot. So I am very thankful for you, Bob, that you keep going and pushing for that, because it isn't something that's on everybody's radar at all. I remember addressing the parking I was insistent at the beginning that the parking spaces be right adjacent to the entrance. They wanted them on the other side. And, the slope that you were talking about was like the highest slope you could have without a handrail, by all the, disability rules. So thank you for continuing to follow up with that, because it's so much easier to fix it on the doing end than on the other end. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. I really appreciate your help and expertise as well.
I do want to just jump in, if I may.
Sure, Laura, go ahead.
Yeah, I have it. I think I may be interested in in participating on the library committee, but I'm going to need to check a few things first. So at this point, I'm going to say I'm going to seriously consider it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, and the next topic is just COVID-19 information. And since we're thanking Bob for the library, I also want to thank him for the next information that he sent me. And I will send the link to everybody, but it's a very nice sheet and information on people who are hearing impaired and difficulty with masks. It's certainly for people who are who read lips. They do have these masks that are clear, but it's just one of those things that is just another variable to think about. But I would, without bringing a lot of personal experience into it, I can honestly say that I have a hard time sometimes when I have my mask on and somebody else has a mask on hearing. And it became clear to me when I went with my husband to the doctor that I needed to start off the appointment by saying, he has difficulty hearing. that's why I'm here, so I can help, gather information. Say that right from the get-go instead of people going, huh, asking 10 questions. But just letting people know that if they're giving you information and they have a mask on, if you can't hear them, especially if it's important information. So I will forward that email that Bob sent me. It's from NIH, and it's the National Institute of Deafness and Other Communication Disorders. But it was a really nice article and very helpful little, it's 8 tips for improving communication when wearing a face covering. Much of it is common sense, but it's just good to be reminded. I'm sorry, Laura, did you want to say something?
I think that's very exciting. Is that something that you could send a PDF out to, or
yeah, I will.
Email a copy? Yeah.
I'll email everybody with the information.
I'd like to post it around here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you probably can't see it, but it's a nice little PDF with the tips on how to communicate. And again, we can thank Bob for that. He's kind of our official helper here.
And Lynn, I just grabbed it. I'm going to send it to the committee right now. One less thing for everyone to do.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, Ginny.
Is there any way that we could get a copy of that on the plexiglass at the greeters section at the town hall? Robin or Lindsay, because that is a huge stumbling block to just getting inside the town hall. And I don't, that looks like a beautiful color thing that I don't have any, I'm all out of color ink. Would that be possible for either one of you? Because every day when I'm a greeter, I cannot hear. The people themselves are having a very difficult time just going back and forth. And that's where we interface with the people and they interface with us. Mm-hmm. I can see people just give up. And I thought that might be helpful to everyone. That would be helpful to everybody
Jenny,
that walks into that building.
Yep.
You just want me to bring one over there?
Yes, I'm on.
Have it on the plexiglass divider. Okay.
Right.
I'll do that.
Muriel's on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
No problem.
Okay, so that was certainly, another piece of COVID information. And then the other two are it was mentioned in the minutes last meeting about the Smart 911. And I think what I'd like to do is get that information to the recorder or either on our website, just so that people know about the emergency preparedness. And I wanted to let Laura know that she had given me information about a contact person for the Elm Street Life Path representative, Jen Glover, to get go packs, emergency go packs for folks. I thought I had more than I did. When I went down to the basement, I only had one extra one, but I sent in a request to Jeff Dugan at MOD to see if we could get more of them. So that's on my list to follow up. And then
Kelly, I'm Lynn. I'm writing Kelly. I'm calling you Kelly.
A lot of people do. I answered
what was What was the information that you wanted to get out? I was busy with the flyer.
Just about the smart 911, so that people can know about the emergency preparedness and sign up for it.
Okay. And where did you want that to go?
Well, I'm thinking that it should probably go on our website, but I also thought it might be good for an announcement in the paper. And I will follow up with that.
Okay. So
Okay.
you want us to add it to, so you'll get the information on adding it to the town website, the
Yes.
CDA page? Okay.
Yep. Okay. The status of outdoor dining. I just wanted to let you know that I've used the outdoor seating at the co-op. The wheelchair space is just great. And I feel quite comfortable there. And I don't know what the city has planned for outdoor dining. We mentioned about putting the link on our CDA website. Is that something that we can do? The link,
So that would be
the link for the regulations on.
Oh, okay. I'm putting that in here as a to-do. So you're requesting the link to the regulations for outdoor dining, ADA info. Go on the CDA page.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get that to you.
Okay.
Okay, on new business, I was going to bring up the issue of the meeting in the winter, but I guess that we're good with that at the moment.
To clarify, you guys have agreed to meet when available. Is that right? We're not having a December meeting, but other meetings are on?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I think we'll talk further about, we need to clarify further about members who will be staying and going. So, and then the last thing is, oh, I'm sorry. Did anyone else have any new business that they wanted to bring up? Nope. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of shaking heads, except for Laura, because I can't see her.
I have no new business.
Okay, all right. So then the last thing I just wanted to mention is the announcement. I had sent the email to you folks about the Disability Summit, the annual Disability Summit that MOD is sponsoring, and it's on October 29th. I believe Lindsay said that she was signed up, and I think Doug. How about you, Laura? Did I get you the information?
Yep, I'm already signed up.
And you're signed, that's right. Okay. At this point, the registration is closed, but they can put you on a waiting list if anyone's interested. Essentially, it looks like the topic is going to be around disability issues during the pandemic. So should be interesting, and they usually have a lot of good information. So that's about it for me. Did anyone else have anything else that they wanted to bring up, or it looks like we have a little bit of time?
I just have one quick thing.
Mhm.
Can you just email to me whatever that treasurer's information is and how I go about finding that, or what you've been doing, or
Oh, okay.
anything you know about that? Just if you email that to me, that'd be great. I'm emailing Danny right now that we're attaching that flyer, so I know
Okay.
how government goes.
Okay, yeah, and I'll send that to everybody after the meeting. Okay, well, I thank you all. I mean, I think that these are difficult times for everybody. We'll do our best. Okay, I'm gonna
Can we get it? We need to get a vote for adjournment. Sorry.
yeah, I was
a motion and a vote.
just about to do that. All right.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. All right. So I'd like to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved, DeSorger.
Didn't hear you, Doug. Unmute. You're muted.
Second, Mayo.
And Laura?
I'm in favor of it.
Okay. And I am too. I'm in favor of adjournment.
Me too.
Okay.
Me three.
Thank you, everybody.
So moved.
Thank you. Good night,